Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago, Bears fans. Let's get to the news, all right. Bears fans, hold on tight because the offseason is heating up with some serious trade rumors that could reshape the landscape of the NFC North and potentially set the stage for a real postseason push for our beloved Bears. The buzz is all about Tariq Woolen, the standout cornerback from the Seattle Seahawks, possibly heading to Chicago in a blockbuster deal that could have ripple effects across the league. This isn't just speculation. It's a developing storyline that could seriously change how our secondary looks moving forward. Let's dig into the details and what it could mean for the Bears. Rumors are swirling that the Seahawks are open to trading Woolen, who's been one of the brightest young stars in the league, in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. That's a pretty significant move if it happens, especially considering Woolen's impressive performance in his second year. It's a bit reminiscent of the trade that the Eagles made for Darius Slay back in 2020, which ended up providing a huge boost to their secondary, adding that veteran presence and playmaking ability that took their coverage to another level. So, why would the Seahawks consider parting ways with Woolen? Well, their secondary is aging, and even though they're sitting at a solid 7-4 record, there are concerns about their long-term depth and ability to keep up with the league's top passing offenses. Seattle is also looking to free up some cap space, around $10 million, to bolster their pass rush and other areas. Plus, the Seahawks have been rebuilding their defense, which has actually played pretty well this season, surrendering about 19 3-points per game, a solid number. But they're not blind to the fact that their secondary could benefit from some fresh talent, especially someone like Woolen, who's been a game-changer when healthy. Now, let's shift gears and focus on our Bears. Chicago, sitting at 4-7, desperately needs to shore up their secondary, especially after recent injuries. Tariq Stevenson's hamstring issues have left a void, and the team is giving up around 220 passing yards per game. That's not good enough if we want to compete in a division that's getting tougher by the year. Adding Woolen could be exactly what the doctor ordered. Not only does he bring elite speed, running a blazing 26 40-yard dash, but he also plays with a confidence that's rare for a second-year player. Woolen's season stats are eye-popping: 35 solo tackles, 8 assists, 3 interceptions, and 12 pass breakups in just 11 games. His PFF coverage grade is a stellar 92, and he's allowing just under 5 yards per target, with a QBR against him dropping to 56 when targeted. What makes Woolen such a perfect fit? Well, he's a versatile corner with incredible speed and instincts. His ability to close space quickly, combined with his man success rate of 83%, makes him a nightmare for opposing receivers. And while he did miss some time in Week 7 with a hip injury, he returned strong, collecting 2 interceptions in Week 10 after coming back from that injury. His speed is a game-changer. Blazing a 4.26 dash, he's able to stay with the fastest receivers and make plays on the ball. His tackling misses are only around 3.8%, showing solid fundamentals, and he's equally comfortable in zone coverage, where he's enjoyed an 85% success rate. If the Bears manage to make this trade happen, it could be a turning point for their defense. The current CB group with a PFF grade of 76.8 would get a significant upgrade, adding around 26 points to their coverage grade and boosting EPA pass defense by plus 0.16. This would help reduce the number of big plays allowed and could significantly increase turnovers, which is crucial for a team looking to turn the page and build a more aggressive, ball-hawking secondary. From a strategic standpoint, acquiring Woolen would also give the Bears a bit more flexibility in their defensive schemes. With a lockdown corner like Woolen, they could afford to be more aggressive in blitz packages or simplify coverage schemes, confident that their corners can hold up against even the toughest receivers. Plus, Woolen's presence could elevate the entire secondary, making it more cohesive and intimidating, something that Chicago has desperately needed all season long. Now, let's get a little deeper into the potential impact. The Bears have been hovering around the 26, 4 points per game allowed mark, which isn't quite good enough to secure wins against the league's best teams. Bringing in Woolen could help trim that number down to around 22 points per game, which, at this stage of the season, could be the difference between a losing record and a playoff-caliber team. His addition would also mean more turnovers, projected to increase by about 8, and that's exactly what this defense needs to take the next step. Remember, the Bears have historically been a team that thrives on creating turnovers and turning defense into offense. Looking at the bigger picture, this move could give the Bears an edge in the NFC North, especially with the Vikings and Packers also vying for supremacy. The Vikings have a solid offense, but their defense can be exploited, and the Packers are still trying to find consistency. Adding a player like Woolen, who's been an elite cover man and playmaker, could help Chicago flip the script. Plus, it would send a message across the league. This team is serious about contending, and they are willing to make bold moves to get there. Of course, there are skeptics who question whether the Seahawks might hesitate to part with Woolen, given his youth and upside. They might prefer to hold on to him, especially if they think he can still develop into an all-pro corner. But the fact that they're considering a second-round pick in 2026 shows they're open to negotiations, and that Woolen's market value is high. For the Bears, this could be a golden opportunity, an investment in their future while also addressing immediate needs. In terms of odds, betting markets have shifted significantly, with Woolen's trade value pushing from plus 8,000 to plus 3,500, indicating a growing belief that this deal could happen. If the Bears do land Woolen, it would likely boost their playoff odds, perhaps adding around plus 14% to their chances of winning the NFC North or even making a deep playoff run. This kind of upgrade could be the catalyst that pushes Chicago into a new tier of defensive dominance, especially in the passing game. Now, imagine the scene: Woolen lining up on one side, locking down top receivers, forcing turnovers, and making plays that energize the entire team and fanbase. That's the kind of player who can transform a secondary from average to elite, and Bears fans know how crucial that is in today's NFL where passing offenses reign supreme. His potential arrival would also galvanize the locker room, inspiring young guys to elevate their game and take pride in that defensive backfield. So what's next? Well, the trade negotiations are still ongoing, but if the deal goes through, it could be one of the most significant moves of the offseason for the Bears. It's a bold statement, showing that they're serious about competing now, not just future planning. The NFL landscape is always shifting, and Chicago is positioning itself to be a major player in that shift. Expect the front office to be aggressive, trying to close this deal and get Woolen in navy and orange. And remember, fans, this is just the beginning. The Bears are building something special, and moves like this could be the key to unlocking a new era of success. The secondary, which has struggled at times this season, could soon have a new leader, someone who's not just talented but also motivated to bring that winning mentality to Chicago. Woolen's addition would also send a clear message to the division and league. The Bears are here to contend, and they're willing to make the moves necessary to do so. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Chicago Bears news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, if this deal materializes, the Bears' defense could be a completely different beast. Woolen's ability to lock down receivers, combined with the existing talent on the roster, could turn the secondary into one of the league's top units. That, in turn, would give the Bears a much better chance to compete in high-stakes games and possibly secure a playoff spot for the first time in recent seasons. It also sends a message to the rest of the NFL. Chicago is serious about winning and isn't afraid to make bold moves to get there. Of course, it's not just about one player. The Bears will need to continue building around him, fixing other gaps, and maintaining their offensive consistency. But having Woolen as part of that core could accelerate their turnaround. His skill set aligns perfectly with what the Bears need: speed, coverage ability, and playmaking instincts. Plus, his youth means he could be a cornerstone for years to come, helping Chicago develop a defense that strikes fear into opponents. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news.